Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." In a world that constantly tries to control our emotions and actions, mastering our own minds to find peace and happiness amidst chaos is not only powerful, but also revolutionary. Stoicism teaches us resilience, gratitude, and the art of living a complete and meaningful life. This is not just a history lesson. It is a guide on how to apply timeless wisdom to modern life, maintaining calmness in the face of chaos, finding joy in the simplest of things, and transforming every morning into a springboard for a day filled with purpose and happiness. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by life, or if you are seeking inner peace, the Stoic principles shared in this video could be the key to changing everything. Listening to this content in its entirety is also your first step toward proving that you are someone different, someone who hungers for depth and wisdom. 1. Discovering Ikigai, the reason you wake up every day. In today's modern life full of pressure and uncertainty, each of us has, at least once, asked ourselves, ultimately, what am I living for? To answer that question, the Japanese have a beautiful concept called Ikigai, loosely translated as the reason to get up each morning. Ikigai is not just a hobby or a job you love. It's the intersection of four crucial elements: passion, skills, social needs, and earning potential. Imagine Ikigai as a treasure map. Passion is what makes your heart race. Skills are what you do well. Social needs are what the world requires. And earning potential is what sustains your livelihood. Where these four elements meet, that is where your Ikigai exists. Finding Ikigai is not a process that happens overnight. It requires deep self-reflection, experimentation, failure, and growth. Maybe you've loved painting since childhood, but never thought it could become a career. Or perhaps you're good at communication, but have never considered it a valuable talent to develop a profession around. The journey to finding Ikigai is a journey of rediscovering yourself, recognizing the true value you can contribute to the world. One of the first steps toward getting closer to Ikigai is taking action every day. Instead of waiting for inspiration or grand opportunities from the outside, start with small steps. If you love writing, dedicate 30 minutes a day to writing. If you're passionate about health and wellness, start learning more about nutrition or exercise. By doing so, you not only sharpen your skills, but also nurture your passion, gradually creating value for yourself and your community. Ikigai doesn't necessarily have to be a grand career or a monumental achievement. Sometimes it's simply doing something that makes each day meaningful, like raising your children, helping others, or creating things you love. The most important thing is that you feel you're living fully, waking up each morning with a heart full of enthusiasm. If you haven't found your Ikigai yet, don't be discouraged. Keep exploring, keep taking action, and keep trying new things. Ask yourself important questions. What makes me lose track of time when doing it? What am I good at? What does the world need? And what skills can I use to make a living? When you answer these questions honestly, you'll gradually shape your own path. Remember, the journey to discovering Ikigai is also the journey to discovering the best version of yourself. And once you find your reason to live, each passing day will no longer be a monotonous cycle, but a meaningful and exciting adventure. 2. Preparing for an energetic morning the night before. A successful morning doesn't start when you open your eyes. In fact, it begins the night before. Many people think that simply getting enough sleep is enough to have an effective new day. However, reality shows that the way you prepare in the evening determines your mood, energy, and spirit when you wake up. If you know how to use your evening wisely, you can turn every morning into a powerful stepping stone towards success. One of the first important steps is reducing screen time before bed. The blue light from phones, computers, and TVs can seriously impact sleep quality, disrupting the body's natural biological clock. Instead of spending hours scrolling through social media or watching movies, put your electronic devices down at least 30 minutes before bedtime. In their place, you can enjoy some light reading, write in a journal, or simply sit quietly and relax. Another simple yet extremely effective habit is to plan the 3 most important tasks for the next day. This helps you reduce morning confusion when you might otherwise struggle with a dozen different choices. When you clearly define your top priorities the night before, Your brain has time to get familiar with the goals. And when you wake up, you already have a clear map to start your day. This not only boosts your work efficiency, but also brings a strong sense of control and proactivity into your life. To make the evening a true recharging process, you should also spend a few minutes practicing meditation or deep breathing before going to bed. Just 5 to 10 minutes of sitting quietly, closing your eyes, and focusing on your breathing can help your body and mind release the tension accumulated throughout the day. Meditation helps regulate your heartbeat, calm your nervous system, and easily guide you into deep sleep, the ideal condition to wake up feeling refreshed and full of energy. Additionally, setting up an ideal sleeping environment is a crucial part of preparing for the morning. A cool, dark, and quiet room, along with a comfortable bed, will help you achieve better quality sleep. You might also want to create small evening rituals, like drinking a cup of herbal tea, listening to soothing music, or simply writing down things you are grateful for that day. These small habits send a signal to your body that it's time to relax and prepare for deep sleep. If you often find your mornings rushed, chaotic, and lacking direction, changing how you end your day can make a big difference. Evenings are not just for resting, they're also a golden opportunity to prepare your mindset, spirit, and body for tomorrow's opportunities. A quality evening is the solid foundation for an energetic morning, and an energetic morning is the perfect start to a more successful and happier life. Start today, turn off your screens earlier, plan your tasks clearly, and breathe deeply before going to sleep. You'll be surprised how after just a short time, waking up will no longer feel like a battle with the alarm clock, but rather a moment you truly look forward to, the exciting beginning of a wonderful new day. 3. Protect your morning from digital distractions, the first step to mastering your day. The morning is the most precious time of the day, a pure beginning before the noise and chaos of the world rush in. Yet many people unconsciously ruin their mornings with a simple action, reaching for their phone as soon as they open their eyes. They scroll through social media, check work emails, read negative news, and before they even realize it, their mind has been swept into a whirlwind of worry, haste, and reactivity. If you want a more mindful and fulfilling life, start by protecting your morning from digital distractions. When you check your phone right after waking up, you're handing over control of your mood and energy to the outside world. An urgent email, an unexpected message, or a negative news headline, any of these can throw you into a reactive, stressed, and directionless state from the very start of your day. Instead of consciously shaping your mindset, you're allowing external factors to dictate your emotions and actions. This not only affects your productivity, but also quietly erodes your inner peace. Therefore, avoid checking your phone, email, and social media for at least the first 30-60 minutes after waking up. Instead of diving straight into the information storm, let your morning unfold peacefully and with intention. Use that time for activities that nurture your spirit and inner energy. You can read a few pages from a book. Choose something light, inspiring, or educational. A good book will plant positive seeds in your mind, helping you step into the new day with clarity and motivation. Or you might meditate for a few minutes. Just sit quietly, breathe deeply, and observe your thoughts as they pass without judgment. Morning meditation is a wonderful way to set a balanced state of mind, helping you face the day's challenges with calmness and wisdom. Another highly effective habit is journaling. You can jot down things you're grateful for, set goals for the day, or simply note your current emotions. Writing helps clarify your thoughts, release emotions, and create a deeper connection with yourself. And if you prefer to keep it simple, just savor the silence. Sit by a window, listen to birdsong, feel the gentle morning light, or sip a cup of tea. That morning stillness has a healing and regenerative power far greater than you might expect. Protecting your morning doesn't mean completely rejecting technology. It means consciously choosing how you start your day. Let the world wait for you. Prioritize connecting with yourself before connecting to the internet. When you master your morning, you master your day, and in the long run, you master your life. Don't let your phone dictate your mood. Let yourself create a full, profound, and positively charged morning. Each new day is a wonderful opportunity to live meaningfully, And it all begins with the smallest choices. 4. Waking up at the same time every day, the secret to building a strong foundation for life. In the fast-paced rhythm of modern life, we often search for grand secrets to transform our lives. But sometimes it is the small, persistent changes we make each day that lay the true foundation for lasting difference. One of the simplest yet most powerful habits is waking up at the same time every day. It may sound simple, but maintaining a consistent wake-up time creates surprisingly far-reaching positive effects. When you wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends, you are reprogramming your body's biological clock, stabilizing your circadian rhythms, improving sleep quality, boosting energy, and enhancing focus. A regular schedule helps your body and mind know exactly when to rest and when to be alert, thereby optimizing your overall performance. At first, there will surely be mornings when it feels incredibly difficult to leave the warmth of your bed. Laziness will whisper, just a little more sleep, and you will have to battle yourself. But remember, every morning you overcome that temptation and rise on time is a small victory. And those small victories, accumulated over time, will become the foundation for discipline, confidence, and success. When you consistently wake up at a set hour, you will also find it easier to build positive morning habits. You'll have extra time to meditate, read, exercise, plan your day, or simply enjoy a peaceful morning without rushing. A good morning not only boosts your productivity, but also sets a positive tone that lasts throughout the day. So how do you start? First, choose a wake-up time that fits your lifestyle and work schedule and commit to it every day. To support this, pay attention to your bedtime. A full quality sleep is the key to waking up with ease. Limit electronic device usage before bed, create a quiet sleeping environment, and consider practicing meditation or deep breathing to relax your mind. If in the early days you find it difficult, don't be discouraged. Your body needs time to adjust. Initially, you might have to force yourself out of bed, but after a few weeks of perseverance, you will find yourself waking naturally even before the alarm, a sign that your biological clock has been properly set. Remember, waking up at the same time every day isn't just about building a habit. It's about cultivating personal discipline. Discipline brings freedom, the freedom to live a life aligned with the values you choose, rather than being swept along by unconscious habits. Every morning you rise on time is a reminder that you are mastering your own life, that you are strong enough to start each day with intention and awareness. And day by day you will find yourself not only waking up earlier, but also living more mindfully, deeply, and fully. So starting tomorrow, try setting a fixed wake-up time for yourself. No matter if it's sunny or rainy, a weekend or a workday, honor that commitment to yourself. Because a great life is not built from occasional bursts of brilliance, but from small, repeated habits performed every single day. 5. Practicing self-forgiveness and patience, the secret to moving further every day. On the journey of personal growth, each of us has faced failures, setbacks, or days that didn't go as planned. What matters is not avoiding mistakes altogether. That's impossible, but how we respond to them. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the practice of self-forgiveness and patience. We often find it easy to empathize with others when they make mistakes, yet we are incredibly harsh toward ourselves. Just one instance of laziness or a mistake can trap us in a vicious cycle of self-blame and disappointment. However, self-punishment doesn't lead to progress. It only weighs you down and holds you back. Self-forgiveness does not mean ignoring mistakes or making excuses. Instead, it is the honest acknowledgement. I made a mistake, and that does not make me any less valuable. Forgiving yourself allows you to release the mental burden, keeping your motivation alive to keep moving forward. Because only when your mind is light can you have enough energy to learn, to correct, and to grow. Being patient with yourself is also an essential part of this process. Real change takes time. Building new habits, pursuing long-term goals, or simply maintaining a conscious life are journeys full of ups and downs. There will be days when you feel like you're moving backward instead of forward. There will be moments when you repeat mistakes you thought you had already overcome, and that is perfectly normal. Instead of feeling discouraged, view these small failures as a natural part of progress. See each mistake as a valuable lesson, each stumble as an opportunity to understand yourself better. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I act differently next time? It is these constructive questions that will bring you back on the right path. One important tip is to start fresh the next day with a new mindset. You don't need to carry a regret or self-blame, only the lessons. Every morning is a brand new opportunity to do better than the day before. When you practice rebooting your mind daily, you gradually build resilience, confidence, and an extraordinary capacity for self-renewal. Remember, the journey of personal growth is not a straight line. It is made up of zigzags, steps forward and steps back. What makes the difference is not your perfection, but your refusal to give up. You deserve patience and kindness from yourself. You deserve the chance to start again, not just once, but as many times as necessary. Because perseverance, combined with self-forgiveness, is the foundation for building a sustainable, strong, and meaningful life. Starting today, whenever you face a smallest setback, gently say to yourself, "It's okay, I've learned something, and I will begin again." That is how you move forward, step by step, on the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. 6. Start with small actions. The secret to building a solid foundation for success. Start with small actions. The power of proactivity and life control on the journey towards success and happiness. We are often swept up by grand goals, long-term plans, and lofty ambitions. However, what many people fail to realize is this: every solid step forward begins with small actions, the things we can control each day. Small actions are not trivial. On the contrary, they are the very foundation upon which discipline and self-respect are built. Two crucial elements that determine how far you can go in life. When you start with the smallest of tasks, like tidying up your living space, completing a small assignment on time, or simply keeping a promise to yourself, you are quietly training a success habit, proactivity. Focusing on what you can control is an important lesson that everyone must remember. The world outside is full of factors beyond our control: the weather, other people's attitudes, or unexpected disruptions at work. But there is one thing that always remains within your power: how you act every day. You can choose to start your morning with a positive attitude. You can choose to perform a good deed, to finish a small task even when no one is watching. These choices, repeated over and over, are how you build a life you can be proud of. Small actions not only strengthen personal discipline, but also serve as essential training for greater challenges ahead. Just as an athlete cannot perform at their peak without daily practice of basic movements, we cannot wait for major challenges to appear before we start practicing our response. Mastering small things daily prepares you with the resilience and stability needed when facing big changes. More importantly, being proactive in small matters helps you develop a strong sense of responsibility and faith in yourself. When you consciously perform simple tasks without external pressure, you are slowly shaping a strong character, one who does not wait for ideal circumstances to act, but who creates value each day, no matter what. Remember, every big habit starts from small actions. Spending just 5 minutes each evening to plan your next day could save you hours of wasted time. Consistently reading a few pages a day could make you significantly more knowledgeable in just a few years. No lasting success comes from sudden leaps. It is built through the steady accumulation of small but sure steps. Starting today, ask yourself, what can I do right now within my ability to move closer to my goal? Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't wait for the big opportunity to knock on your door. Start with what you have, with what you can control, even if it's just one very small action. Small actions, but great meaning. By persisting with them, you are quietly creating a stronger, more steadfast version of yourself. Someone ready to face any major challenge that the future holds. Life is not determined by extraordinary moments, but by small choices made consistently every single day. And every small action you choose today is a brick in building the castle of your life tomorrow. 7. Almohan Sharihaban. The power of finding a companion, a growth journey is not meant to be walked alone. In the journey of conquering goals and personal growth, there is one often underestimated yet incredibly important factor: finding a companion, also known as an accountability partner. This person is not just someone who tracks your progress, but a true companion. Someone who keeps you on course, motivates you during tough times, and celebrates even your smallest victories with you. A companion helps you maintain your commitment to yourself. When we make promises only to ourselves, it is sometimes too easy to give up or find excuses to delay. But when another person knows about your goals, the motivation not to quit becomes stronger. We don't want to disappoint others, and more importantly, we don't want to fail in front of someone who believes in us. Moreover, your companion becomes a valuable source of encouragement during moments of exhaustion, self-doubt, or the urge to quit. They will remind you of why you started, offer the right words of encouragement at the right time, and sometimes simply listen to the worries and pressures you're carrying. Their presence makes the journey less lonely and far more meaningful. Especially when both of you are committed to growth, you and your companion will learn from each other and grow together. Each person brings different strengths, experiences, and perspectives. Sharing your journey, lessons learned, and even moments of failure helps both of you understand yourselves more deeply, develop character, and cultivate patience, humility, and the ability to truly listen. The most wonderful thing is that this relationship is not merely built around personal goals, but founded on honesty, unconditional support, and mutual inspiration. This is not a race to see who is better, but a process of progressing together. When one of you strays, the other offers a gentle reminder. When one of you achieves something, both share in the pride and joy. Finding a compatible companion also helps you develop long-term commitment. Commitment not only to yourself, but also to someone else. This strengthens trust, increases a sense of responsibility, and creates a stable source of motivation that doesn't rely solely on fleeting emotions. If you are starting a new journey, like changing your lifestyle, building good habits, or developing new skills, consider finding a companion. It could be a close friend, a colleague, a family member, or even someone you meet through personal development communities. What matters most is that both of you share the common goal of growth and sincerely commit to supporting each other. Remember, success doesn't always come from solitary efforts. Sometimes the deciding factor that gets you to the finish line is the presence of a companion. Someone who believes in you, encourages you, and helps you overcome every challenge along the way. Finally, choose a companion with a sincere heart. A tough journey becomes much more memorable when you have someone walking beside you. It's not just a story about achievements. It's about building a precious relationship founded on support, understanding, and mutual inspiration. 8. Memento Mori, the art of living fully every day. In Stoic philosophy, there is a profoundly meaningful concept: Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. At first glance, it may sound somber, but in reality, it is a powerful reminder to cherish the value of every moment in life. Practicing reflection on death is not intended to instill fear, but to encourage a life of purpose, focus on what truly matters, and avoid wasting time on trivial pursuits. When you regularly remind yourself that time is finite, you awaken to the significance of every choice you make. You realize that petty arguments, meaningless procrastination, or negative habits are insignificant compared to the grand mission of your life. Each day, each hour suddenly becomes a precious gift, one that must be treasured and used wisely. Every day is an opportunity to live fully, to create meaning and value. By practicing Memento Mori, you are no longer swept away by meaningless things. You learn to devote your time to family, to passions, to activities that bring true peace and happiness, rather than getting lost in minor worries or chasing others' expectations. Moreover, contemplating death has a profound impact on helping us become more resilient in the face of challenges. When confronted with difficulties, instead of panicking or giving up, you understand that these ups and downs are merely small parts of your finite journey. By keeping a long-term vision, you develop greater patience and stay more focused on your bigger goals, rather than being easily shaken by temporary setbacks. Memento Mori also nurtures a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment. When you understand that any moment could be your last experience, You learn to appreciate even the simplest things, a delicious meal, a fresh morning, or just the laughter of a loved one. That gratitude allows you to find happiness in everyday life, rather than endlessly chasing distant dreams. So how can you apply Memento Mori in your daily reality, especially each morning? One simple yet highly effective way is to ask yourself every morning, if today were the last day of my life, would I be proud of how I plan to live it? This question is not meant to spread fear, but to awaken your awareness of the value of time and encourage you to live each day with greater intention. If your answer is no, that's a signal to adjust, to start living with true courage, love, and dedication. Remember, living is not merely about surviving, but about truly feeling, connecting, and leaving a positive imprint on the world. Each morning offers a fresh opportunity to restart that journey of living fully. When you make Memento Mori a part of your morning habit, you will find yourself less easily distracted by trivialities. Instead, you will begin each day with reverence, clear purpose, and profound gratitude. Gradually, your life will become richer, more meaningful, and you will be able to look back proudly on how you have lived, day by day, moment by moment. Memento Mori is not a farewell to life. It is an invitation to love life in the deepest and most sincere way possible. It is the art of living fully, gratefully, and deliberately with every precious second we are given. 9. Negative visualization, the art of mentally preparing for every challenge. In Stoic philosophy, there is a very special mental practice called negative visualization. At first, it might seem strange. Why would we deliberately imagine bad things happening? In reality, this is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner resilience, emotional recovery, and a calm spirit in the face of any adversity. Negative visualization involves intentionally spending time thinking about difficult situations, losses, or obstacles that might arise in life. Not to create anxiety, but to mentally prepare ourselves in advance so that when those things do happen, or even if they don't, we can remain calm and respond with flexibility. Practicing negative visualization also helps you appreciate more deeply what you currently have. When you imagine a day where you might lose what you cherish, your current job, your health, your family, or valuable opportunities, a natural sense of gratitude emerges. You no longer take good things for granted, but instead savor each present moment with mindfulness and appreciation. So how can you practice negative visualization effectively? The simplest way is to set aside a few quiet minutes each morning. You might meditate, close your eyes, and gently imagine the challenges that could arise during the day. Perhaps your work will not go smoothly. Perhaps someone might misunderstand you. Perhaps you will feel tired or get delayed by unexpected factors. Then visualize how you will face and overcome these situations. See yourself responding with calmness, wisdom, and patience. Imagine yourself choosing to react proactively without being swept away by negative emotions. The important thing after the practice is to let go of these thoughts, not to carry the anxiety into your day. Instead, start your day with a mindset of readiness, proactiveness, and greater confidence, because mentally you have already rehearsed for the worst-case scenarios. The deeper benefit of negative visualization lies in reducing the emotional shock when difficulties truly occur. People often collapse under the weight of surprise, not necessarily because of the difficulty itself. When you have already prepared your mind, any situation becomes something you have already met before. Nothing feels too unexpected, nothing too overwhelming. You accept it as a natural part of the journey of life. Practicing negative visualization is much like how professional athletes prepare for competition. They not only imagine winning, but also foresee mistakes and obstacles, mentally preparing themselves not to crumble under pressure. Most importantly, negative visualization is not meant to make you pessimistic. On the contrary, it is a tool that helps you cherish life more, live more deeply, and become more resilient. You will learn to find joy in simple things, to be grateful for every peaceful moment, and to be ready to embrace whatever life brings with steady courage. Try applying it starting tomorrow. Spend 3 to 5 minutes in the morning imagining a small challenge that might arise during the day. Visualize yourself reacting with calmness and wisdom. Then smile and step into the day with lightness and strength in your mind. In doing so, each day will no longer be a series of passive steps, but deliberate, mindful strides. And over time, you will build profound inner strength to face any of life's storms. 10. Ending the day with gratitude. The secret to living more deeply and peacefully. In the journey toward a happy and fulfilling life, practicing daily gratitude is one of the simplest yet most profoundly effective tools. Closing each evening by reflecting on the good things that happened during the day, no matter how small, can bring about deep transformations in your soul and the quality of your life. Recording the things you are grateful for each day doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It could be just a few lines in a small notebook, a compliment from a colleague, a delicious cup of coffee, a peaceful moment watching the sunset, or simply the feeling of breathing in fresh air. These seemingly trivial things, when seen through the eyes of gratitude, suddenly become precious and more meaningful than ever. This habit shifts your focus. Instead of only concentrating on what you lack, the pressures, shortages, or failures, you learn to direct your mind toward what you are fortunate to have. This shift not only soothes negative emotions like stress, anxiety, or disappointment, but also opens your heart to a sense of abundance and happiness. Because of this, your mind becomes more relaxed, your sleep deeper and more restful, creating a foundation for a new day filled with positive energy. Gratitude is also the foundation for nurturing inner peace. When you are grateful, you are less likely to be swept up in endless desires or negative comparisons with others. You gradually realize that joy and contentment do not come from having more, but from appreciating what you already have. This is how you find serenity in the present, rather than chasing after a distant future. Practicing gratitude not only improves your relationship with yourself, but also deepens the relationships around you. When you are grateful for the people who bring goodness into your life, even if it's just a small act of kindness, you will naturally treat them with more respect, love, and kindness. Relationships built on gratitude are lasting and filled with genuine emotion. Another equally important impact of practicing gratitude is enhancing your ability to recognize beauty in everyday life. When your mind is trained to seek the positive, you begin to notice the miracles hidden in the simplest things. A gentle rain, the laughter of a child, a loving glance. Life, instead of being a constant series of challenges and goals to achieve, suddenly becomes richer and infinitely more lovable. Start tonight. Before going to bed, take a few minutes to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and think of 3 things from the day that made you feel grateful. Write them down in a small notebook, or simply whisper them to yourself. You will find that with such a small act, you have sown the seeds of peace, happiness, and love within your own soul. Gratitude does not make life perfect, but it makes life complete. And with each day you practice it, you are steadily building a better, deeper, and stronger version of yourself. The journey to a meaningful life with Stoicism. Practicing the strategies of Stoicism is not merely about changing daily habits. It is about building a life that is truly purposeful, resilient, and filled with gratitude. By applying these principles, you are step by step creating a solid foundation for yourself to face life's challenges with calmness and clarity. Although the strategies shared so far are just the beginning, they have already opened the door to the profound treasury of wisdom that Stoicism offers. Each lesson, each practice, is like a small brick contributing to the construction of a more grounded mindset and a more fulfilling life. The road ahead still holds many wonders for you to discover. Continue to dig deeper, apply, and live by the values of Stoicism. When you do, you will not only find peace within yourself, but also radiate calmness, kindness, and wisdom to the world around you. This is merely the starting point of a greater journey, the journey of living a truly meaningful life.